the side.
Okay,
and not
we
too much
got
about verticality,
crew on
just
defense.
have
We got
good cross
sentinels on
Let's see what
attack.
Sentinels have for us on this attack side now. We're off to Icebox, folks. A glimpse of the
And
past.
must-win map.
Trying to
The
take
sentinels.
some B main control. We are going to see that.
Say the name. I'm not saying the
Thrown
name.
out by the harbor that covers both those doorways. Oh my god. What is that? How does Zelsis go down on the cross? Brutal.
Some nasty work under tube there from Shy. Santa Viper wall set up though. We'll get Sentinels essentially onto this B site. John with a spike in hand, but Mazino playing pretty close here. Now looking to take a close fight. Those right clicks are good.
Yeah, and the
Narrate his
3 locked in and the shock
over the course of
dart
this series, that's firing
kind of
through.
did
Oh,
a
they're
solid
doing what
amount
they
of
do, but
damage.
They love to sink their teeth
God, they look
into a
good.
team like this.
It's 2-1.
That is a
First
convincing
map was
fight.
1-1. That was a really convincing one. Granny, thank you so much for the tier 1. Thank you for the 15 months.
If that was just some intuitive tapping
thank
with the
you.
ghost, regardless. Brilliant first kill. What a shot.
Okay, give me 20 seconds.
Silky smooth, man.
And then I love how Mazino is playing around the site here. Who realized, wait, they're trying to take Snowman control? Well, let's just go fight them. And they swarm them, all angles, encircled, absolutely torn to shreds.
Ah, yes, the Marshall buy, very standard for Kesnis.
And again, here's that high cut wall, just cutting off both doorways.
Yeah, crucially, that debuff applied by it. Very standard spot here for Kesnit, just looking to play above the walls. Contact shot is good. He sticks around for a second
Kesnit
one.
could actually just
Gotta
farm
respect
this.
that level of audacity.
Not punished for the greed. Oh my god, Mazino picking up the slack.
He wants more. I can't believe it. He wants more. That was the dog.
This gun when you have no
MB2 for a
armors
reason,
is
my
just
friends.
so insane.
Okay. John B3. Okay.
Okay, but they didn't lose
Strong start there
anything
for Crew. They
really.
really are more than happy to stick around,
They lost
repost
the
on those
sheriff
angles.
and they lost
They're feeling themselves.
Marshall.
They lose the 2 worst weapons that they had in the round anyway, so realistically, who cares? Oh my god, I just saw right before we were getting into that, Kevin was buying an op already on the bonus round? Huh?
Do they have dinner reservations or?
They want to end things quick.
Race get off to a good start.
And the way that they're playing, they're making me believe that they might just end things even faster than literally anyone on the planet was expecting. Who are showing out today?
They're also going to be lit by that briefly. Sen now looking over
Kesnit
the
gets
side of the map,
the
and this time it's bang posted up mid.
Attack
I do like the setup
up, sorry,
for
the
they have
defense
Bobby
up
rolling
early.
over towards Biggie, allowing the rest of the defenders to stack up
Mazino
elsewhere,
just
and
dropped him
it
it.
does come into
And then
multiple players to
did he
contend
not
with
want
volleys
anything back in
all over the
return?
ground. It's going to be so frustrating to try and scale past as a team. Might end up in a situation where someone like Zekin gets isolated and killed.
And bang happy just to get the turret over towards Boiler. Of course, there's a cheeky few lineups to cover that if you're on the attack side.
Selfless teammate. Yeah, looks like he's just going to drop him an op again if he doesn't do great this time.
Nor do any of these crew players. Our drone sees very little.
Okay, double molly on site though, so as soon as they commit here, you'd imagine Zekin's just get smelted.
By that nano swarm combination. Zekin able to avoid it. Has that regen shield, so I mean, somewhat durable now as the fight begins. Fragment and Snakebite thrown to the back of sight, but Mazino unaffected by both. Zekin now has to fight. Gets the one, but Narrator's going to be good for the refrag. It's Mazino without the required weaponry
And
here.
here's the big gun.
Surely not. We just get out of here with the
Here's
operator.
the big gun and they save. Okay. I mean, Sentinels will be loving this. 4 people surviving as well.
But I like that Sen
We got
were able to
Zelsis on
pause,
an
take their
early
time
hunt.
getting back into the site. Zekin didn't overcommit to any duels when we were looking at his point of view.
Ooh.
Kesnit is in some serious danger right now.
It's only Zelsis that is
Yeah, as soon as
chasing
they
this
hear
point.
that
There's
op
still a bit
shot
of
as
time left in
well,
the round,
everyone
and
just starts running
Sentinels
for
are
it.
swarming, circling, like vultures. Kesnit now will simply hide in the corner.
I mean, I don't know. Honestly, frankly, I'm looking at Kesnit's money. How the hell did he get all of this cash? I mean, he's not even
Yeah,
a guy.
because he has got 3-7 after. Okay, so I think he's still gonna buy an op though. But it's a big win. This is nice from Crew though. Like we gotta give a mad shout out to Mazino really. Dropping him the op here and then it being such a big win condition that they buy the op again.
Yeah, it was that pause from Sen after they got into the site and refight. Then Zekin takes the swing and Narek gets a couple kills. Who is a man that definitely needs to come online individually. Had a very slow start back on Lotus.
someone who's probably a little bit more emotional than a lot of these members of Sentinels.
Yeah, Sentinels might dodge this up again as well. We'll see.
Weaker performances in the past, even after wins. He's hungry.
And this is definitely a time for him where he can't let the emotions get the best of him. He needs to step it up to steal away Crew's map pick.
Okay, pretty tentative here for Sentinels. It might just be another dash into Cloudburst, and Zekken has to be wary, of course, of the Nanoswarm set up here. They're going to be cleared or activated.
No, just got that. Just got it off. Where's the money at? Everyone from Crew, 2 people for Sentinels.
Yep. This time they have much better weaponry to take these fights, however.
Pretty surgical here for Zekken. He wants
Bang
to
might be able to take a lot of space here and pull his team over.
But they might pull out.
Yeah, the big difference though from Sen on this round is that Bang is exploring B, but he's caught out.
There goes that option.
They're going to go back to A. I just don't think there's any option for them now with the time left in the round. Zelsis gets pinged out here though, so Crew
pretty bold from Bang to go for this without putting the wall up.
So good. This genuinely looks hopeless for Sen. They'd have to go insane on this execute individually.
They already cleared this corner. Mazino's in. He reposted there now, and Sen don't have the util to get him out, and they're not going to check it.
What a flash.
Still wins the fight. That's absurd. Also
no way, they won every single duel. And obviously the flash enabled the first one, but...
4 players stacked up with the rifles. Perfect flash from John, by the way, to clear that player in Gen, who couldn't connect the first bullets onto Zekken. Mazino, who you mentioned,
mini game that we saw
walked back in
last round, it's happening again.
2 players on catwalk.
Still died.
They can't find a kill? That is mental.
Oh, okay, that's a good reminder.
That's what we need to see from Sen. They're really meticulous in these early to mid rounds, right? And they just surgically remove these aspects of Crew over the A side.
I can't express enough how much of a favorite Crew are to win out in that situation.
Katen again has to sit on this operator. Suffice to say, there won't be the funds to repurchase this in the next round. So the threat level a little higher here for Kesnet. Maybe approaching DEFCON 2, if I'm honest. Gonna try and walk away now, and he will get to keep this up into the next round. But
yeah,
that was so
no one can buy anything with it, really. Everyone on the team sitting at 2,500.
Might have been able to get that kill. He was able to see Zekken, but then after being flashed, just did not know where to put the crosshair. The way that they scale both sides of the site together, sick side execute.
And you are seeing Crew, they are pushing up amongst that, right? They're pushing into Sen a little bit, realizing they lose Mazino a little too cheaply there, and they get punished.
Kesnet saves the op, has his backup ult.
What is the move?
I see Molly for here, but as we can see, the turret isn't there. Knife aggro over towards A, hit to the Viper and the Sova. But honestly, when you hit the Viper with your knife over towards A, you know this is B.
At what point, though, did Crew get a little antsy?
Yeah, we mentioned it on Lotus. Didn't come to fruition at all, but often on defense, that is their undoing. Their own willingness to try and force too much. And try to do too much.
On this map in the past as well, we've often seen them like bounce on defense between sites a lot. They're going to force Kesnet off this line in theory with this owl drone. Yep, he respects it. Reposts because he's Kesnet. Now pinged. Surely we get off the line now. Yes, Zekken going to push him pretty quickly. Kesnet
nice
has to beat
timing off that as well, though. Also, I love that Sentinels didn't really give him a chance to get a kill at all here.
They've got to be thinking about snowman control.
This is nice from Sentinels.
These off-lines or just pull back entirely.
Yeah, they just have the superior weapon.
Does he throw the gun over to Adverso and then use knives? Or
just gonna
let everyone else go for it in your
They've got this Mazino util to work with though. He can really carve up the map and allow Crew to get in behind it. But
okay, he's going to let everyone else go for it. Dude, wait, John hit an absolute shot, no?
3-piece for Zekken. And no guns dropped by Sentinels.
And John just popped him.
Crucially, the gun dropped in that round was Kesnet.
It feels like we kind of get back-to-back rounds of similar things where Sentinels just go towards a site and then everyone dies within 4 seconds. Maybe not even 4 seconds, maybe 2 seconds.
Love the timings on these fights taken here from Sen while the cascade drops. Swing from Zekken is perfect. Zelsis from main. Fundamentals looking clean there to dispatch.
It feels like that was the go signal for Sentinels. When they see that Harbor util come out, they say no.
Shawberry with the tier 1. Thank you, the 9 months.
They're midway through this.
Those NRG Furia kind of peaked on the first map.
We saw that they wanted to leave 1B favorite
a little bit.
They're doing something similar right now, but
it got really one-sided after the first map.
Okay, it's going to be a fast hit for Sentinels coming in, but Zekka's going to fall early. Null
Yeah,
Command, though,
and it's the
will
classic.
pave the way, and narrates having to deal with the Verso.
Fast drone into ult and then send it. Bro, they win so many 1v1s, but I also will say that John has some lovely flashes going.
Looked like Zelsus was doing some kind of Arsenal roleplay, getting that kill up top. Kesner trying to swing back in on the left side.
God, look at them.
Audacious, and who's covering him? That is strictly a solo effort. Melsa is able to pick that line up eventually, but was in no position
Got to save again.
And frankly, that's just
Been
a
here
two-gun
before.
save.
I love how Sen positioned that double face to hold
Okay,
anyone
now they
swinging
can definitely
from
hunt
Cat.
heavier.
Where we saw Kesner
Especially when you're
die.
looking at this.
One player stood on the box on the default plant position.
What is happening here? I mean, they're getting run over.
Really cool little setup.
Buy rounds every single time they go over towards A and they're getting run over.
Right now. This is
I
very
think
impressive.
that they're going to
Especially
time
given
out
there
and
were
probably go a
question
little
marks
bit
coming
more aggro.
We heard that from Sean on the desk.
Something to do with
Worried
Jet
about the level
Knives.
that the SEN team would be at, given that Icebox was never a go-to for them in the past. But this is a new roster, a new era, and it's feeling like they've really put the work into this.
And it's a question of if we're needing a timeout here on the crew side of things soon. Sen is starting to...
That was crazy, man.
And yeah, look, I mean, it's just Kesnick trying to take a fight there at that point.
All right, guys, welcome to the server. I'm glad we woke up.
I need a cigarette.
No, you don't. Definitely don't suggest that.
Whoa.
Look after yourselves out there, folks, and stay in school while you're at it. It's a timeout from
Time for
Crew.
another
These are
Jules
good.
clip. It does sum up the map though.
That's it.
It's been the whole Icebox game.
Sen here starting to run into a couple of rounds where they've got sort
Just
of round-defining ultimates.
chill
They've got
for a little
lockdown on
bit.
the horizon.
4
Also,
kills.
You know, getting towards
That's
that
the round
Darkness
done.
hit here. But I'm looking at Crew specifically because they've got that Hunter's Fury, and of course that Harper ultimate, which can be in a pinch really crucial to allow you to re-clear this space. And it was a timeout as expected.
Did you watch
This is
Chobra's
a good
video?
time to go
Nongshim
for it.
could beat the
It's a
Mighty
quasi
T1.
buy
I haven't
here for
watched
Crew.
it,
It's not
but they
the
could
most
beat them for
convincing,
sure.
but I'm sure Kesner's going to have a blade sword.
But I also feel
Look to
like
crack this one open.
Chobra's kind of paid to say
Definitely,
that.
like you said, I'm
Also,
looking towards that ultimate from the
He's a
Harbor.
savant
So
when it
effective,
comes to
especially when you're going
predictions,
in on
so
a flood. If someone taps the spike,
you should
when
listen.
that lightning bolt comes down, you know that's going to be a free stun as well that you can scale off of while the other players are having to reposition. I'm looking to see Crew take advantage of that ultimate in a situation
like I am with
like
Liquid, yeah,
that.
that's true. That's the only reason
I also want to see out of this
I
timeout how Sen
didn't go
intend
for Gentle
on
Mates this week.
adjusting. It is just
That's the
been
only reason
so
I got it
easy for
wrong.
them to take this A site round after round.
You're right.
They're going to open things differently, try and maybe play more passive or explore elsewhere on the map to see what plans Crew have.
Okay, this time it's a little more passive towards that A side. No early exploration. Melsa's going to be allowed to push up here.
Yeah, worried about the potential for a Kesnet like dash updraft off of a deep recon, try and take a fight towards Belt.
So in the past, Crew had this tendency on these save rounds to buy Sheriffs and push mid
Oops.
as 5. That was very typical for them.
Baited.
This time though,
They actually got
they've got some
baited.
guns in the mix, so they're probably not reverting to that protocol. Sen are playing though as if they're ready for something of a push-up. There's nothing to see here either. This should get a drifter towards B, but okay, that's a shot under tube over towards kitchen side. That's that mid-anchor of Shy down.
And that false info from the drone could allow Sen to now scale up towards A, slowly take that space and work back into a full execute.
And it's an instant
Time
group
certainly
up
of the
towards
essence.
A
40
again.
seconds to play with now.
And
That
can
Harper
you
util's
blame
being
him?
drawn out
Because
on the
every
B
single
side,
round
and
to
Kesnet
it's been
realising
winning
we'll
all
have
the
to
jaws.
rotate back to A.
Ooh.
This is the
They put
Crew
wall over
answer.
towards
They are
here.
just
Here, no
running around the
reaction,
defense.
and they
do
managed
not
to 3
know
pass
where
on
to
stack.
position at the moment.
I mean,
But they've
maybe.
made the read, actually. They've
Kesnet
gone
with
back
knife still.
right on time.
Okay, getting messy now. Mel's able to deal with second, but it's going to be a trade. Numbers favour Sen now in this 4 versus 3, and they're on the front
2
part of the
knives
side.
left.
But Kesnet, surely he's not going to hold out. His interlope is in for free. Surely looking to excise a toll now, but it's awkward. He's got to swing out and get a
Oh
trade.
my
out
God.
first, but it's Mazino.
Wait, what?
Vintage
Double
Mazino.
headshot.
Able to use that ultimate now. Give Bang
Oh.
He's stunned up, but he misses a golden opportunity. Bang healthier right now. Has to keep moving here.
Okay.
That is
Hey, what
dirty
happened
business.
this round?
The movement there, just
Dude,
taking
I
that
gotta
extra
see the double
step,
headshot.
And then the shot.
I gotta
Beautiful
see the
from
double
Mazino.
headshot. Dude, he had everyone worried with the
unexpected way to win
with the
that round, to
switch
say
of the
the
gun.
least.
Shy looked almost reverent there, witnessing that from his teammate.
What is
Fair enough.
this?
Hello? 911. I'd like to report a absolute murder of 4 individuals hailing from SEN City.
Either that or he's trying to phone a friend to figure out how to win defensive rounds without clutching 1v4s. It's one or the other, man. Because you can't replicate that.
Well, they say the hardest battles.
I think this might have been crazy, judging by Shy's reaction.
See how this goes down.
Oh my god, that is
disgusting, bro.
I feel like I need to take
Oh
a
my
shower
god, it
after
was
watching
disgusting.
that.
I get it. I get the Shy reaction.
It's all that sea
Oh,
water, you
that's
know?
so
the
nasty.
swings from Sen were perfect.
That is picante. Holy. Okay.
He is on one today.
Oh my
You can't
god.
be losing when you have someone playing like that, man. you got to get back in the game.
Okay, Stan looks to open around here. Cascade thrown out. Zekendo wants to ask for more.
That was so sick.
Viper's Pit 1 away.
Oh my
Lockdown 1 away for
goodness.
Sentinels.
Right?
As they're back on the old faithful operator.
He gone for that.
Stack up towards A due to him controlling B, but they're going to be pushed out of the site, at least temporarily by this
Reverse
lockdown.
and does it Vaso uses ult when they go for the plant, or does he use it for the floods?
So Kura gonna
I mean, he might use it with attack here. He has to use his ult now.
Oh, wow. Okay, big ping there for Johnny. Sees so much.
And it just
then
took
got
down
hit by the
Hunter's Fury.
knife.
Kesnet, great opening.
Thank God he didn't go
That's been
for it.
disabled for the time being now. Viper's Pit here for Sen in the post plant. Kesnick does get his pound to flesh, but there's so much more to be done now. And to get through this pit could be a tough ask.
Guys, take some
Versus
space.
sees nothing. No tags at all off of that Hunter's Fury. Time is ticking. Celsius crouched, biding his time, waiting inside the pit. Adversa wants to try and light it now, but Zekin's dealt with Melsa easily enough. Celsius is waiting, ready to take the fight. And Crew down to 3 with an operator as well. This looks awkward.
Oh,
They're
not
going to
again.
walk away. It's going to be a 2-gun save here. We're shy looking for something on the exit side, but there's nothing to be found. Clean look for Sen.
The Crew team had nothing to explore into that pit. No drones.
Yeah, definitely got to save the
Sen were
guns.
stacked up in it.
Melza
Cannot
can't
express
buy.
enough how much
Melza can't buy,
value the
and
0 point from
Mazino
Janga.
just has
Not only
to
did it
tank
catch
a
4
light on
players,
them.
sure, you get the info that they've been pushed all out by the lockdown in those common positions, but more importantly, it nullified the usage of the Hunter's Fury while they were planting the spike. That's the exact situation where traditionally you would have seen that defensive Sova rip the ult onto the spike planter while the rest of your team floods in. That play was cancelled out by one utility piece. And then that pick gets max value.
Okay, I want to play it.
That's another round where
I wanna
Kesner
slow-mo
had this
that in a
operator.
bit.
He's drifted across from B and has nothing to do with it.
Maybe slow-mo
These
at the
saves will
half,
make
we'll
Owner
see.
proud.
The SEN team have been so strong on the A side. I'm really impressed by the way that they've been getting into the site.
Watch him just stay here, even without Tailwind. Yep, gets his one. Mazino watching his off angle here, and Kesnet is going to trend back. But of course, they've got that
I'm
one way
surprised
to play off
Sentinels
of
won
as
it.
well.
I wonder if
Clean
they
on
thought
top.
that the op was going to be over towards A now.
Center just waiting to play off of this pop flash with the recon as well, which
Yeah,
is some
and it's
info
the good
towards
recon that
back
goes
yellow on
behind.
B, so
They
they
can't
know
be
that
shot from sight.
there are no
Know that
Crew
all the
players
yellow's
entrenched in
clear.
forward positions at the
And
moment.
then, honestly, they can use their wall against them. I feel like I'd be in for that wall.
Currently, Celsius
Yeah,
is rummaging
it for
through
sure
the
means that
pantry at A,
they
but
aren't going to get
hasn't found
info
a
for
whole
a
lot
little
at
bit.
all.
At the very least, so he's providing information for the rest of SEN that there's no one actually pressed up. He's given the rest of the team a good amount of space that they can just run up to, go into
Okay,
this site.
speaking
hit.
of this though,
But
wall
for the
goes
first
down,
time,
they recon,
They don't have to contend
scans
with 3 or
all
4
of this,
players, not like it's mattered in the
they
past.
do get a
The Crew
rotate on the
always
go.
stacked up here, but this is the first time
But
they're really
it's
just going to get
kinda
this
slow.
thing for free and play a post plan.
Yeah, Celsius has given Sentinels a good staging ground by clearing a lot of the front part of this site.
I mean, they get a plant here.
Wait,
Wait,
time is dwindling so low. 15 seconds. SEN haven't
wait
even
for the
tapped
Viper molly.
spike yet, and all the Crew are stacked up.
oh god.
Oh, that's
Oh,
nasty.
man,
Narrate going to
he
be caught by the
tanked a lot
shot
of
dart.
damage
John
from
going
the
to try and get
Viper
this
molly.
plant down now.
Mazino
10
is
seconds left of the round.
absolutely
Tim and
feeling
Celsius
it.
against the world. Mazino gets plugged. Celsius has to make it happen. V3 here, and he spots Kesnet on that off angle. It's a comfortable swing for Kesnet.
Chat, there's
Crew get
nothing
back
too
within
crazy
one
in this
round.
round, so I'm
I
just going
love
to
how
replay the
Crew played that,
Mazino
and
one
I think
again. I just
perhaps
want to
this is
see
a
it in
moment where a little
slow-mo.
light bulb goes off in their heads.
This
like,
is
wait a
it,
second,
normal
We
speed.
can just play this for the floods. We don't have to be trying
Oh
to
my
anchor this as
goodness,
crazy
it's
as we
actually
have been. That
nuts.
has not been working out for us. There they do it because it's textbook to play like that in the 5 versus 4, especially given
Whoa,
that
that's
the time
kind
got
of
horrifically
crazy
low for them to try to
fast.
plant. But I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see this crew team take that approach now on A.
And who better to have flood into a site like this?
They do one more.
This is crew's bread and butter.
And you've got all
One
that
more
power
full speed.
util to cut off a lot of the post plan. Angles very effective there.
Or just
Oh
stall out
my.
at B because you're not all committing to A with
That's
Kesnet,
lovely.
the only player at B.
Yeah, speaking of, they mixed up the setup and now he's taking his operator over to A, peering over towards Belt.
Not on top of Gen though, so Kesnet does respect the L drone to no. Okay.
Crosshair wasn't on his head, yeah, but he's flicking this
Does
way,
head there.
and then he's shooting as he's
Had
pushed
an
by.
idea, and then I threw
Like
it
he's
out.
clicked, but then he's over flicked.
Alright,
Very hard to
It
stop
does seem
exactly
he's opposite
here and
number there,
click.
and
Most
it
people will
also is
click.
pinged.
Most people will over
So
flick
now we're
and
in the
then
front of
click.
the side again. Sen knocking on the door. Shot for Kesnet goes a little wild. He had to get away from this now and allow for a plant. So again, crew are looking for one of those signature floods. This time, the Shock Dart won't claim the race lane.
Another half as they try to flood in. Zekin is too short.
Damn, dude. Everyone's hitting absolute shots. He's going for it. One bullet, one bullet. Ooh, one bullet. That's nice. That's nice, dude.
We're giving away a PC over at iBuyPower. Hashtag unlock your ace at iBuyPower on socials. Woo, buddy. What an energizer. Well and truly
Yeah,
back
dude,
in
the second
server.
show was sick as well.
Oh, look at this.
That show was
Devious
really
elixir, that
nice.
three-piece.
No, and he said, let me just do
This
something
one,
a little
the
extra
one
with the
bulleter.
dash into the
Oh my.
ADS one-tap. Let me just give something to the crowd real quick, something light. Just a little bit effortless. Didn't even smile, didn't even grin, not even a little smirk.
Dude,
No
that thumbs
adjustment.
up is incredible.
Just kind of stared at the cam, like after Lillard hit that
He actually
three-point
stared at the
there
cam and gave us
into
the thumbs up.
Just looked right at the camera, stone face.
That's so good. Oh god, back to back.
Oh, okay.
Back to
Far
back.
from gun, just above the
Send
wall.
it.
Kesnet spotted. Head goes
Pop your dash, go.
rolling. Couldn't ask for a much better plant than that. Already taking the jet out of the game, and the guns are not
John, you
good
got
for crew.
one big flash for him.
John is just ready to throw up this pop flash on the spike tap. Rest of the SEN players swing off it. No, never mind. Let's just
about we just fight them?
So
Now
once we
he's
just
got a
shoot
better
that-
position now
Gonna
for the
blow some
flash.
steam at some point here.
Oh my
Here
God.
comes Zekin round the corner. It's Melzer. It gets lobotomized. However, the numbers are even after Reversal was able to deal with John here, but Bang will wait. Through the high tide he goes, and he connects beautifully. What a correction! Ooh, buddy.
They were feeling it.
Clean as a whistle with the spray transfer.
What was Zelsis saying on the hot mic? Something about, oh, we're waking up. Something along those lines, right? They got their beauty sleep on Lotus. Looking like a bit of a different team here right now on Icebox Attack.
They're woken up the crowd as well. Feels like the oxygen has re-entered the room. Look at this. With that.
Oof.
Okay. And again, moments like that, they just look to try and fight. They say, okay, we have the advantage here. Just dirty Blade Storm play for Zekin, and what a time for him to come alive after a bit of a lackluster
1v4
first match.
clip? Yeah, it's that one, I think.
Recons exchanged over towards A. SEN have been essentially for free, getting all the space pushed up to where Zekin is at right now, where you're in prime position to just hit that execute. Crew really haven't tried to contend forward very much. Part of that being the fact that Kesnet is constantly opping. So over on A, they're just set up to anchor the sights
Do
heavy.
pass and fake.
And that
He's
is
sending
not
it though,
done
right? He's
success.
that flash
They've never come
dashing.
past 410.
Give me
on
another.
defense on this side. And yeah, constantly
okay.
flooding to try and retake. And again, Zekin who
Well,
gets beautifully
hopefully
embedded
that's
under
enough, as we can
rafters
see in
at
the
back of
minimap,
A.
it's
It
pretty
just
good.
seems like a dangerous proposition.
At least know that the Jets here, so they don't have to worry about the op anymore.
Over towards B seems to be the look now. Zelsis going to take note, of course, on Nano Swarm that he skillfully circumvents. Sen can fall back
Strong
down
plant
towards
if they
his
can take some map
positions
control.
towards yellow.
Definitely got to keep an eye on Zekin on this
They go
one.
looking for, yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Arbor have the lockdown as well, and Zelsis exposed.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
dirty work. Okay, Mazino's
Dude,
gonna
people are
follow
hitting
the
some
tube,
nut
and here
shots
come
on
a
this map.
Full 5 of crew. John has to keep moving here, of course, but the Harbor Ultimate has now expired. No rates, okay. Great recovery there, and okay. Big damage on the second. Pinged out, has to fold away.
This
It's
is
all up
impossible to win for
GT.
John.
Spray is good, but
Impossible.
Shai was waiting for him. A lively first half.
Dude, a fun
Genuinely
half,
competitive
though.
stuff here.
This is a
Sen
fun
get
half.
themselves
There's a couple of saves in there where we had to wait for 30 seconds, but once they were gone, it was pretty fun.
Biding the time with the big ultimates to come in for that retake, doubling up on them.
7 rounds when they got pistol.
SEN, despite it being 7-5, honestly, I don't think the scoreline illustrates how much it feels like they've been in control of this half, running over the A site as they please. Really only a couple rounds here and there at B that didn't go their way, or when Kesnet found an early pick and then they had a man advantage flood towards A, but I gotta say, it feels like SEN are in control at the moment.
Yeah,
B rounds did some heavy lifting for that half, and that's true.
Very good this game. We're gonna go to a quick break, folks.
The
When we
3
come
save
back,
rounds
a
weren't that fun.
7-5 half with Sentinels in the lead in a must-win map in this series for them. Don't go too far.
Okay, Jal, let me mute this. Need a replay of the Zekken or... Is that what this is? Let's find out. We're risking it. Oh, this is it. Damn, dude. Oh, dude, chat, I can't listen to myself. Don't know how you lot do it. Ooh, it's nice though. It is nice. This is a fun. It was. You're right. It was carried by a couple of rounds, but like those 3 rounds back to back was awesome. We usually have the stream on mute too. Honestly, I wouldn't blame you, man. But at that point, you might as well go mainstream.
Well, it's been a hot minute since we've seen Icebox at this level, and apparently not a whole lot has changed. We're seeing the 2 dominant styles of the past here, the double initiator, the double controller comp, going head-to-head.
Yeah, that's true, Bacan.
Have Zekken drag them into a lead with a massive ace and then a beautiful follow-up in the next round with the Blade
Icebox
Storm.
2, right?
2 rounds ahead, and you touched on it before the break, right? It really has felt like Sentinels have had control of most of this game so far.
Definitely, but regardless of that, Crew have been able to just get their rounds here and there. I mean, look at, if you look at the timeline of the game, they did not do anything they didn't string anything together. It was just,
you got 3 sheriffs.
And then they get another one a couple rounds later, and it's resulted in 5, Not too bad, but SEN have looked really fantastic on
I like this from Narrate. He taps the orb. What kind of mentalist would tap the orb when you're solo 1 person over towards A?
Much better at the moment.
And this double controller util is going to let Crew just completely cut this side off and basically force flood retakes.
Kind of makes you think that you got at least 3 here.
Play aggressively in the site, which feels like a risky proposition against a team like Crew who hungers for those opportunities.
Well, and yeah, I mean, a hungry Kesnet is going forward to take that initial first duel, finds the kill, and now they're setting up 5 versus 4 on the site. Crew want to play crossfires.
Here comes Sentinels. Remember, this KO util, this flash is going to be huge. Get Sentinels into this side. Zekken opens things up beautifully. No Melso wasting under the rafters, but Zekken, he doesn't miss those.
Low HP.
Kesnet a little bit low, and Bang likely to challenge him as his wall drops. How quick can you be on the uptake? Kesnet finds his one. Frenzy goes to work on Zekken, though. It's up to Narrate versus Kesnet. Narrate needs a moment, needs a little bit of a confidence
my
boost.
goodness. It got crazy. 15 HP. Kesnet did a lot here. Double pistol on this map.
Just turning off right now. Kesnet and Zekken both.
3-1 all together.
To press forward in the site while getting the spike down. Kesnet finds this kill. All right, bet. And then they go back after that. Just set up the crossfires in sight together. Play to the fact that you have that man advantage 5 versus 4, and mathematically you can just trade that down and win from there.
Wait, it's so good. They're the seat. They're the seat on the edge so they can see each other.
Kesik's chasing those frags on the side, just like he's being
Damn, he actually just instantly gave it. 3-1 altogether, 2-0 on this pistol.
I have big forehead privilege. I'll have you know. I get it.
Frenzy? Yeah, I mean...
more embedded on A. Like, less likely to try and give it up here, right? Because they're worried about, like, all this controller utils, forcing them off the side entirely.
Yeah, do you think...
Bang looks right, silly there, but I think a pop flash came up
15 bullets is kind of nice. At least think having one frenzy could be good these days, and just the fast passing entering just never stand still. Pretend you got a neon ult or something. Just never stand still and just
armored up and also with rifles to work with. Zelsis with his favorite weapon.
They have opted for a pretty big investment here, which is, you know, juxtaposed to the same situation on Lotus where they just had a couple weak pistols. Second is happy to do damage, especially given what I was just saying. They invested heavy into this crew.
They should be able to walk away with this, though, with those 2 rifles in tow comfortably. Sandals will look to challenge, but Melsa will be left behind. There was Zelsis now and Zekin, just hoping they can dig someone out of position. It's unlikely, and of course, at this point, the odds of taking anything out of the round are nil to none.
Isn't it one away from his ult?
With that pistol win of even up the
do
game.
they just want to try get the orb and someone doesn't buy?
Play with those 3 and then
or just
have 2 weak weapons so they can ensure a full in the next move. To see what they opt to do. They want to play it riskier or a little bit safer.
1 enemy remaining.
I do think like these 2 teams probably look to play very differently to one another on defense, just because of double initiator and double controller comps.
You know, it feels like every time we watch this crew team at the moment, it's like they have one side of each map where they look, I don't know about that.
Sussy?
Yeah, suspect. And then the next half, they look like the most perfect Valorant team that you've ever seen, which is exactly what happened on Lotus. And
definitely, crew used a lot to make sure that they can't take the orb. They did actually do what I thought they were going to do. Is he just going to try to take the orb now and then from the gun?
Spotting John out, he sees 4, so pretty clear to Sentinels what the intent is for crew here.
I suggest you move.
Okay.
Oh wait, Mazino took it to get his orb. To get his orb. Okay.
There's a bit of a gap here that Bang can occupy.
Mate, these 2 back a sight.
Hard now through all of his controller util. Kes it over the top, caught by Bang though. He's out of range of that Harbor ultimate. He's able to find himself a couple. Zekin follows up nicely, finds the 1-for-1. It's Shy and Mazino now.
Oh,
well, a bit
that's
of
an important kill.
Do. With Narrate falling though, they've at least been able to even the odds in that cove. John has to swing wider to take the fight. Audaciously, Mazino goes for it, falls. Up to Shy. Canny, so cunning. Has the post planners. The KJ duel will decide the round.
Damn, Shy is incredible. Well, it was looking good for Sentinels, but they're on the harder side now and they're down.
We have seen this countless times over his career, and that has put Sen on the back foot.
It's deflating, right? That's that gun round, of course, that Sen are looking for. And Zekin doesn't have the ability to build into like an operator early here, right? He's got a rifle with the rest of them. Only gets like a 1-for-1 playing from rafters. That was such an important round in the context of this game.
Dude, I love the over the shot angles where you can see the other team. Looks sick when they're giving it.
That harbor utility, the cascade specifically,
like the closer you get to their POV.
Into prime position where you can activate the execute. Sen, they want to echo the site.
Guys,
raids, trigger discipline works against him. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Again, the weaponry's not there for them. Crew though now on the precipice of going up 2 rounds.
This map is awful to watch though, isn't it?
Seconds just got
like it didn't take long for me to remember just how bad this map is to watch.
Impossible
just 3 seconds of
virtually in this round.
3 seconds of duels into nothing.
Yeah, at this point though, it's like, I mean, damage be damned. It doesn't even matter. Crew have tons of cash behind them. Zekin is looking to be an actual miracle worker in this moment. That's one lethal first click onto Shy.
Not much to see here though. Again, another high tide going to be thrown down. All of crew just huddled on the other side of it. Zekin says, right, well, there's a weapon to be gained here, and I will walk away at least with a consolation. Great opener there from crew though. You see when they walk into this anti-eco, they're confident enough just to hit the site. Very airtight protocols with that controller util. And waltz on in and take what's theirs.
I said Icebox is still fun to watch because the teams are experimenting. Yeah, but we got 2023 comps.
Much like the beginning of Lotus, feels like Sen are doing so much right. Crew are making some silly mistakes, throwing situations away, and then suddenly they just capture that lightning in a bottle, and they're right back in the lead.
Chat, when do we get a new map?
Together in a row, the most rounds
there's gonna be someone that knows.
In a row on this map.
Because we were meant to get a new map with Waylay,
on the verge of being
and then they pushed Waylay forward.
And now they're getting in a
So
position
do we have to wait for Toronto?
I really can't believe it.
This time Sentinels though with the luxury of actually having timeouts available in the second half of a map. So now, Cap unable to address the team. I do think that there's definitely an inflection point in this round. SEN have a gun round.
Why didn't we keep binding instead of Icebox? Trust me, I think that I have a feeling the champs map pool is going to be horrendous. Like I really think there's a chance that if we think of all the rotates and what's likely to come in, we could get a really bad chance. Could be like a Abyss, Icebox, Breeze, Sunset, new map. That is somehow the exact same as Icebox and Abyss. And then +1. They'll probably keep a SEN in or something.
To stay in it earlier on, find some advantages for the team when we were on Lotus. But here has them during crunch time. He's been
Dude,
so
imagine it.
on the success of this roster over the
Very
last
confident
year.
Breeze and Sunset comes back next. Very, very confident.
That is a crazy stat.
Oh, but wait, it shouldn't do because it should be new map.
On SEN's first bloods.
That's on the attack side, where they're not like using a solo
So maybe
wall.
it's just
You know what I mean? Like
Sunset.
sometimes it's maybe more explainable if they were defending, but Zekin's in there with a rifle. It's huge for their first half. Where is he though in the second half?
I could have just gone back to what is working.
Sunset? I didn't mind watching Sunset too much in pro play.
Cascade to go forward. Zekin.
I like this though.
Well, I like this. You tank a little bit of damage, but they don't think you're up
Regen
here.
shield did work. Flash
Yeah,
him
so
over
maybe we
pipe.
can
Here's
play a
Zekin,
little
almost fully
looser.
committed. Tucks in this corner now.
tank the
Crew don't have the
flash.
timing to shake him out. Here's
Shock
that
dart was
lockdown,
crazy damage, by
though.
the
A
way.
little early shenanigans. And that lockdown will persist by the looks of things.
SEN have been forced out. The question is, do they just want to flood back in right now on the spike tap?
Yeah, maybe go quickly, right? But there's a high tide already in play. SEN respect this. Are they going to try and wrap around the backside though with this Killjoy?
I mean, there's
Doesn't
no
look like
util for
Delsus is looking
crew.
for a flank.
And that is one of the
If SEN
difficulties
can't
of
win
playing
this
against
retake,
this
then
harbor.
I don't know what
You can't
retake
flood
they
in
can
when
win.
all those walls are up.
Okay, Kesnet might get cleared from that position by the fragment. Well placed there by John, but Mel's is still in Crow's Nest. Lit though on the side. He's the only player there. Crew actually pull off the side itself and play from behind this toxic screen. And there's Kesnet, a double spray down. That's not what you want to see if you're a SEN fan. And Mazino sneaks away. Now SEN have to show a little bit of leg, have to wager something to get this defuse. And it's going to be a 2v1. A must-win round for Sentinels after that timeout. And John's got nothing to do. He has to saunter away, tail between his
That's
legs.
a nightmare.
And that's Crew extending their lead to 3.
Yeah, and the left-hand side, they're back at it again, giving you one questionable half into one God mode half. They looked fantastic now on the A side, which was the story for SEN when they were on attack. The difference being how they play with the harbor.
5 in a row, yeah.
The difference in
Big
their
change up
comps
for the
here.
Sentinels, so they get
I mentioned it
an
during
op
that round,
out.
but the way that it just
And
bogs down any
nice to see that
flood
the op's not
attempt
going
while
over
you're
towards B when
actually
this
on
has
the
been
spike.
pure
You're
spam
forced to
here.
push through those additional walls, and the time that it buys then allows Crew to set up these post-plant positions. Great spray down from Kesnet.
Operated this round for Zekin. So finally, we're seeing SEN go in this direction, and he wants to play up with it. Look how close he is.
Oh, he's a
Is this gonna
crazy,
pay
crazy
off?
guy.
Kesnet's gonna see it.
Wow, fair play,
buddy.
man.
Zekin's
Straight up
on the line.
180 off
And
the
he's having to
sound
walk
of him
away from this to
dropping.
boot.
He
Dude, what
is
is this movement?
determined to just
What did I
will
just
SEN
watch?
to a win on this map.
With that said,
Placing swarm grenade.
Crew don't have a lot of map control elsewhere, and they've really never tested B on this attack side. I don't know if that's going to start now.
I wish
honestly.
demos are in this game, man. Zekin must be
clear that
so
turret,
funny
of
to
course.
watch POV-wise.
They've slowed things down over
Big
towards
rotate
A.
for him
They
over
cut
towards
that
B is
noise.
this way
They
he
just
thinks
wanna
they're going to go in
for
terms of
a rehit
avoiding the
later
op.
on. Again, Narrate is positioned over towards 410, which Crew have not seemed the best at clearing out. He's had opportunities for kills there before. You know, and now has multiple players to swing with him.
Okay, Cascade towards that Gen side. This all Adams has slipped through in this direction. Narrate knows he's going to get busy, but there's also John here to cover the line. Where was John? Oh no! Forced off of it. Now, we're even numbers. Crew have been allowed to make some serious progress onto the side, but Bang could still be an issue. A thorn in the side. John redeems
How's he
himself
alive for
there,
that long?
and some. Leaving it up to Mazino and Melsa, the latter with 3 already, with only 6 points of health. He has to know there's a player up on Rafty here. A strong wind would blow him over at this point. And 15 seconds left in the round. He, of course, carries the spike, gets that poison on up and gives it a tickle. Either Zekin or John floats in. There's a shorty going to work. SEN get a crucial round back, and not a moment too soon, but the money's still...
This is a really important round.
Ugly, but
1-9 loss bonus if they lose
more
it.
than
1 armory
desperately
buy,
needed.
3 guns
They would have been
rebought.
reduced to nothing. Crew
Like,
on
this
the
is
absolute
the
verge
round
of
right here.
taking this map. taking the series.
What a risk to take, right? In a round that could sort of lose you the game if it goes wrong. Zekin just...
That's the kind of play you make when you know you're him and you need to win the game for your team.
That's crazy.
You are just way too locked in.
It's like the stakes are higher and you're taking more risks.
But they got good ults for it.
I mean, that is the kind of player that he is. He is fearless and he is consistent.
Push up, going to be spotted here and there. Of
No
course,
one
is
shooting that recon,
I
and
do
it was
love
on
this
the edge.
adjustment out of the timeout from Kaplan, where he's got the team playing more
Crew
proactively.
used so
towards
much
A,
util to
targeting
take
forward,
that
disrupting crew before
aggro
they can
A.
set up to go for the executes, find timings to get kills while they're in the setup stage. They tried to do that prior. I really like the adjustment, and it's paid off so far.
What would the reaction be here for Bang? Does he think about making use of this Viper's Pit if he gets enough of reason to?
They're kind of nice though,
take
chat.
Reverso, getting very close.
They're kind of nice. As much as I don't really like the
Just
Harbor,
a probe at B. No
it's a strong default. Like, it looks horrible to play against.
Set up over towards
The
pipes
opportunity to get a pick
here. Zekin is locked in, looking
for
towards Bell.
Zekin, whether he was A
operator
or
at
B
A
here, is so slim.
And again,
And
no
then they
outro to
created
force him off the line yet.
double pressure.
Reverso having used that a little bit early,
But maybe they should be
come back around.
using...
SEN are just hoping right now that on this hit,
Maybe they
Zekin
drone
can
on A,
find
I'm not
his
sure.
and then set up for the 5 versus 4. Retake doesn't have an opportunity. Too much to obscure his vision. Wow, early Hunter's Fury, and it connects onto Melser.
That's big. Give that player advantage. Narrate
nice.
ready for a little bit more here. Getting those tags in. Reverso goes quite low, but John gets knocked inside that null command. Kesnit is him. Hits the back of the site. Timer plenty here to go for a plant, but Zelsas might have been looking to line up some util. It doesn't matter. Narrate finds yet another one though. That is big, and it's up to Mazino.
Oh man, this guy is...
Right.
This guy is
Beautiful clutch out of
nuts,
nowhere.
dude.
Mazino produces the golden rabbit from the hat.
Man.
That
He's
is
got a
sickening.
1v4.
On this map, it's
He's
just
got a 1v2.
like there's Mazino, Zekin, and everybody else. Kesnit's had his moments, but these two players have been
this
lights
done
out for their
after this
respective
round? Yeah.
sides. Mazino today has been different. This is easily his best series of 2025 so far. It is not even close. He has come up with 2 mad clutches. I really liked the aggression that both teams were playing with there, that like furious fight from Crew backside. After they had lost a player to the Hunter's Fury, they said, no, we're still playing this forward. We're going to fight together. And they were bringing things back until SEN came in.
You got to come up with a very good eco
Gets a
strat.
kill for Narrate straight away. John comes into
The
the
most
side
common
with
eco
null command
strat is
active,
going to
down
be the
instantly.
Bucky on B, I
And
guess,
they have
close.
a 3v1.
Honestly, the Bucky
Mazino
on B
just
close might
dismantles it
work.
systematically. That is going to take the wind out of your sails.
The problem is they
and I don't know if
default
Zekin has
A
another ace
all
up
the
his
time.
sleeve he can just produce on a dime here.
Mazino has kept Crew in this game. He not just kept them in the game, he's gotten
They
them
got a
into
Viper
the
ult.
damn lead. He
They
had
should be saving
clutch
that for next
in the
round,
first
really.
half where Crew were not looking
Oh, they
very
can
good.
buy?
And now the second that SEN seemed to be coming back
Well,
out of a
can
prior
they?
Kaplan timeout, adjusting their
Okay,
play.
chat, they're all
He
in,
just
by the
shuts
way.
them right
It's a really
back
bold
down,
call.
puts them now on
Okay,
the
we definitely got to
precipice
see the
of getting
Viper ult into
eco.
this round if
This
we're
is a
going all in
round
like
worth
this.
2 for
They're
Crew.
one
This
orb away
one
from a
round here
Killjoy
could
ult.
result in
They
them
got
beating SEN for the
4
first
light
time since
armors,
Camp
1 regen
2021.
armor, and
They
they
haven't even
get
beat
double
SEN on a
stingers.
map since
And
then.
honestly,
And they've
I
got so many
think
ultimates here to work
Crew
with.
would imagine they're
The
going to
Hunter
low
series
buy.
up for Reverso here. Post plan, of
Instead
course,
of
with that
all-in.
Viper's Pit could be the death sentence
That's
for Sentinels.
incredible. Dude, I was planning around what they were going to do for their
Spotted out, though,
eco
by John.
strat.
A lot of
They
info
just send
about
it.
this early probe from Crew towards B.
Who have prior shown essentially
Yeah,
no
and this
desire
drone's
to go towards
scary
this B site,
because
but now
they
can use
just
that
use
cascade
knife,
to get some presence
and
in
he has
main
ult.
and then use that drone to explore even further.
Zekin's going to fight for this. There's the tailwind active. Does he know who's above him? It doesn't matter. He's going to be able to get out
Oh,
with it.
John,
The Blade
man.
Storm does
Dude,
connect.
people are
Ends up being a 2-for-1.
way too good with stingers.
Crew here, yeah, really want to push the issue. They're not sure, though, about committing a spike. It's Mazino being a little bit careful about this.
The problem is now the
poison
walls are going to drop. And so Crew are
It's the Nudge Recon? Yeah, I can't remember what team was doing it on the... It was part of their default.
Cloud is up, some safety for Mazino. Narrates
It's
swinging
cool,
from the
though.
top.
Oh, buddy. That's rough for Zelsas, but he only had a stinger to work with. Reckoning now in play. Kets it surprise.
Damn, nice shot,
Another
man.
one that evens the odds here.
Mazino might have to do it all again. Bang could be very tempted to ult
Bang trying to get active here, but of course they need to get through this high tide.
be able
Swing
to
it
create
together, see
pressure
what they
and
can
yeah.
find. Nothing to be spotted, and now the Viper's pit comes down. Bang takes a little bit of damage through the wall, but Sentinel's going to make use of this. They get ahead, clear the turret that tried to
feel like they're going to have to check it with bodies.
Go for it. 4 and 1, not a big
Shy did incredible.
Anyway. And now Bang tries to get the defuse. Mazino with the spray, gets it to half. Mazino got to step up.
No way, man. Mazino, 1v4, 1v2, 1v1.
3 for 3 on clutches. Mazino is just on a totally different level today.
He's just him, man.
He is actually him. But Kesnet, credit has to be given.
Lovely shots from
What on earth was
Kesnet.
that first knife? And then even at that later, he was in a position where there were 3 players who could have potentially shot onto him.
And that was it for Sentinels.
Another 1 for 2.
4 chances for crew, and look at this.
Players a fighting chance.
I mean, they got stingers again, and they're incredible with it, but...
This is the team that win a singular map in Bangkok, and they come back to NA, and they look like they took their anger out on 100 Thieves.
Oh, boy.
Looked like they were poised to become a top team in NA again, but this, a crew-sized roadblock has caused them to stumble. And they're on the brink of getting swept in this series.
Unfortunately, after that strong week 1 showing,
dude, look at the minimap, chat.
Team who we know at any given moment have a litany of players that can take over the server. Back in kickoff, it was Shy, it was Melser. Kesnet had a couple games. Today, it has been Mazino number 1, Kesnet number 2. Both of them have been exceptional.
They're so out of place. Crew have no idea how much they've owned it.
It's going to require heroics.
Okay, they still haven't got the plant down. Sentinels might get here in time to stop the plant.
And Crew can fall back to the edges of this pit, back towards yellow with the long sight lines. If Kesnet gets a 1-for-1 here, he's happy.
And with a long sight line, they have a Hunter's Fury to play with as well.
Kesnet is
out on the corner, so it's really, really easy to spam this as well.
Kesnet, he's going to get through mid because the Raiders vacated the zone of activity for the turrets.
Oh, they took that mouse. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy go. Look at him, man. Mazino, what a map. Fair play. I won't question the harbor if he's on it.
And they bring us an old classic on Icebox to send Sentinels to the Shadow Realm.
Back on Lotus, they adjusted to the meta. Kesnet.
God, they 2-0'd them, and they looked. I know it's kind of convincing.
He looks like a damn one trick when he's
really?
on the agent. He is.
I know they want a double pistol, but
comes over the Icebox, tried and true jet.